Global human rights group Amnesty International is pleading with Police Minister Bheki Cele to clear the DNA backlogs that the group says are denying victims of gender-based violence and femicide access to justice. The group is also asking for more accurate information on the state of the system behind the backlogs. Amnesty International South Africa campaigner Sibusiso Khasa joins us now to explain further. Sibusiso, good evening and thank you very much for your time today here on In Focus. A very strong statement. We call on you, Minister, to stop paying lip service to the matter and deliver on your promise. Are you getting a sense that this matter is stagnant, staying where it was? Is it moving forward slowly, or are we regressing as far as dealing with these backlogs?
Good evening, Thabo, and good evening to the viewers. At this particular stage, it's not even clear, Thabo, as to where are we when it comes to dealing with the DNA backlog, because as you would recall, late last year we informed that it was around 210,000 cases, and this year, early this year, the President, during the State of the Nation address, indicated that it was standing around 58,000 cases after there was some action taken to reduce it. And the minister confirmed that during the SONA debate by indicating that it was under 60,000 cases. And yet, in May, the minister came back again to inform us that the DNA backlog was standing around 150,000 cases. In fact, that's something that he also told Newzroom Afrika at the time. And also, when you look at recent reports that came through via the Parliament Portfolio Committee on police, there was reports indicating that the DNA backlog is around 180,000 cases. That shows you that at this particular stage we are not even sure whether there is progress or there is no progress, because the information that is coming through from the minister is not reliable.
Yeah. Now, from our last conversation, of course, you remember that there was a talk of it was a contract issue or it was a procurement issue, and the contract had expired, and that matter had now been resolved, that contract was now in place. Is that still the matter that is playing in the background?
At this particular stage, we are not even clear as to what are the real issues that are there. Perhaps the minister might be the best person to ask this particular question as to what are the issues. Because as you correctly pointed out, that previously we were told that it was contractual issues that have been sorted out. And yet there were also reports indicating that there were issues relating to budget. And there were also other reports suggesting that some of the machines that are used for DNA testing were out of order. So it seems like there are different problems that are there, but the right person to answer this particular question is the Minister of Police.
Yeah. How then, as Amnesty International, do you gauge this impact? I mean, considering that there is inconsistency in the reporting and the kind of information. I mean, you are certain that what is definitely happening is that women and children are being impacted. How are you gauging that impact?
So if you're looking at even reports, Thabo, you would see that even in some of the cases that have been there, you find that there was even some of the cases you find that a rapist or an alleged rapist was sort of arrested and then released pending the DNA results. And then if you look at the fact that some of them, they went on to commit other crimes, and by the time they were arrested, it was revealed in court that such cases, like the person who had been arrested before, but because of this particular DNA problem, they were allowed to go back to the community. And that on its own, that story on its own, it tells you that the impact is real, because we are talking about people's lives here. If you have someone who commits crime and they are not convicted because there's lack of DNA as evidence, that allows that person to go back to the community and re-offend. And this is a problem, because now most of the victims that are relying on the justice system are being failed by the justice system simply because of this particular issue of a DNA backlog. So it just one case on its own is enough, because you cannot have people being denied access to justice simply because of problems within the system.
In light of this consistent, opaque sharing of information, what are you demanding? What would you like to get to the minister's ear right now in terms of what he needs to deliver to the nation?
The first demand is that the DNA backlog needs to be cleared, and he needs to also provide us with clear information regularly, the same way that he does with the when it comes to crime stats that they issue quarterly. So we are proposing that the minister provides the updates around the DNA backlog whenever he provides the updates around the crime stats quarterly, and that will assist us at least to have an idea as to whether as an action is being taken to clear the backlog, or if there's nothing that is happening at this particular stage. And if you are looking at the fact that the minister in March had promised us that it would be cleared by the end of September, this particular backlog, and yet if you are looking at the stats now, there's no indication of such happening, and there's been no updates from the police minister around this particular matter. So that's why we are calling on him to immediately let us know as to what is happening and as to when are they going to clear this particular backlog, because there are many people who are whose lives are being impacted by this. You can take a look at an example of a rape victim. If they have to consistently keep on going to court or having to wait for a case to be finalized, that on its own is secondary trauma for them.
Sibusiso, appreciate your time. Thanks so much for highlighting this matter for us again tonight. Sibusiso Khasa of Amnesty International is the campaigner for South Africa.